Hi, I'm Claire, and I'm heading to Stanford this fall. In this video, I'll read my Stanford Supplemental essays and share why I wrote them the way I did. Plus, I'll share some tips that you can use for your application. For my Stanford application, I answered 3 short essay prompts, including the intellectual curiosity, community, and letter to future roommate prompts, and 5 short answer questions. Alright, let's get right into it. I'm going to be starting with the short essay questions, which all have a word limit of 250. The first prompt asked, "The Stanford community is deeply curious and driven to learn in and out of the classroom. Reflect on an idea or experience that makes you genuinely excited about learning." This is what I wrote. The questions usually arrive at around mile 10, mile 20 on a stubborn day, mile 5 on a good one. I'm a biker and deep thinker, and paradoxically, the activities are related. Today, I'm biking for the burn, and the speedometer inches up 23 miles per hour, 24 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour. I hold it. With my muscles screaming and lactic acid flooding, I yell into the void, "Why am I doing this to myself?" I think of Dostoevsky's Underground Man. Ha ha ha, next you'll be finding pleasure in a toothache. Dostoevsky was right. We seek pain. There is thrill in desiring it. My legs push harder. Suddenly, Camus is talking and it's all a juxtaposition. Meursault wails, "The universe is absurd, why seek discomfort?" The Underground Man shouts back, "Who wants to want according to a table?" I'm at 30 miles per hour now because I have the free will to do the irrational. It's all converging. A cacophony of existentialist thought pours through me, and I see my life playing with fire, biking too fast, like Dostoevsky's idea of human. Does freedom come from living authentically amidst absurdity? Is it embracing irrationality to assert one's autonomy? Before the questions dry, I stop at the side of the trail and scramble out the voices in my notes app. My heart pounds with anticipation. I'm going to break open some spines tonight. I'm going down a rabbit hole. It's biking to the books again because the questions don't stop. I honestly took an unconventional approach with this prompt because most people tend to focus or write about an academic experience like research or a project they did. And to be honest, at first I was scared that this was gonna be too loose of an interpretation for the prompt, but I think the unusual approach worked. It stood out. It was something a bit different, and honestly, that will make you stand out to admission officers. Okay, the next prompt. This is a pretty common supplemental question. It's essentially asking, what do you bring to our college? So it is, please describe what aspects of your life experiences, interests, and character would help you make a distinctive contribution as an undergraduate to Stanford University. Here's how I answered it. Before Ramon was my friend, he was the unhoused man on the park bench who I greeted every morning on my way to school. Now, when I occasionally see him, I offer my backpack snack when I can. The way the sun-beaten wrinkles turn upward, the way his eyes smile, it makes my day. The first time I collected donations at 11 years old, I was ecstatic, having gathered 70 pounds of food. However, connecting with participants as a food bank volunteer made me realize that it is not about the number, but the meaningful relationships, like with Ramon, that are made. Making a woman laugh as I carry groceries to her car, remembering a participant's favorite cereal. I now understand that there is power in listening to stories and learning names. Later initiatives like leading a team to prepare weekly meals for the food bank and launching a nonprofit online art business to support family works not only allowed me to fill stomachs and adorn walls across the country, but build community around service. That's the magic I see in giving back. It brings us together. Now, I am leading a club of 35 students as a co-president to share my passion for cultivating connections through impact. I am eager to bring my humanitarian values and nonprofit experience to the Stanford community, where I look forward to leading efforts through Cardinal Service and the Haas Center. One of the big themes in my application was community service, so I knew I wanted to highlight that in my supplementals. And I think talking about those activities more just, help them stand out and become more meaningful. Next, I'll be reading my roommate essay. I honestly had a lot of fun with this one. Virtually all of Stanford's undergraduates live on campus. Write a note to your future roommate that reveals something about you or that will help your roommate and us get to know you better. So here's mine. Dear future roommate, have you ever wondered what the pitch of your phone alarm is? If so, and even if not, I'm excited to introduce you to the symphony in everyday sounds. Oven beeps, church bells, even sirens. They all hold the potential to inspire a spontaneous, hummed-out composition. Bear with me when I tell you, did you hear that car honk? It was a B-flat, a few hertz sharp. Maybe one day I'll write a song inspired by the sounds in our dorm room. Do you want to go outside? I mean, like, wake up at 3 a.m. for a 20-mile hike, or gear up with some ropes and ice axes to tackle the magnificent immensity of a glaciated giant. Though, a leisurely saunter through the redwoods would be just as rejuvenating. I don't hide my love for the outdoors, and I like to share it. Will you bake without a recipe with me? I'm no chef by any means, but I'm an experimenter. To me, any ingredient has the potential to transform into a cake masterpiece. Yes, even kale and tofu. Though catastrophes occasionally ensue due to the experimental nature of my process, I hope you'll see the thrill in inventing the unorthodox. I'm eager to see where our creativity takes us. Future roommate, I can't wait for our adventures and shenanigans. Together, we're going to forge unforgettable memories in this new chapter of our life. With love, Claire. I'm actually super excited because my roommate is actually going to get to read this when I meet them in a couple weeks. Anyway, for this essay, I wanted to pull out the more unique and fun parts of myself. I would recommend that you do like a brain dump where you list as many random details about yourself and your personality as possible to make it easier for you when you try to write. For these roommate prompts, I think it's nice to pick out a couple aspects and provide details and specific examples for each where you're showing and not telling. Okay, now for the short answer questions. These all had a word limit of 50. For these, I'd maybe try doing some free writing to start out to put your thoughts down instead of writing to get under the word limit. I think intently trying to fit the word limit, especially at first, can stifle your ideas sometimes, and you can always cut down a longer response to make it shorter. What is the most significant challenge that society faces today? This is how I answered it. Women are suffering across the globe because male-centric frameworks permeate our medical system. Despite inherent biological differences between the sexes, studies have predominantly researched male subjects, leading to disparities in knowledge that result in misdiagnosis and inadequate care. When will gynecological cancers receive the funding their lethality demands? Female health and health research were significant themes in my application, especially with my passion project and my volunteer experience at the University of Washington OB/GYN department. So this was a way to build on that theme. Well, you can write about anything for a question like this. I think it's nice to connect back to one of your interests to create cohesion in your application. How did you spend your last 2 summers? 2023, research paper on female athlete triad, created Red's Awareness podcast, submitted Mount Baker, violin street performances, organized weekly meal donations for Family Works. 2024, development and communications intern at Family Works, UW OB/GYN department research volunteer. Produced podcasts, 1-day 206-mile bike ride from Seattle to Portland, crafted proposal for legislative advocacy. This is fairly straightforward. You can use commas, bullet points, any format works. I tried to pack as much as I could in this one. What historical moment or event do you wish you could have witnessed? An uproar, a revolution, or as the London Sunday Times called it, the drop shot and volley heard around the world. Billie Jean King's momentous victory against Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes would have filled me with enough exhilaration to spontaneously run a marathon that day. Again, this connects back to my theme of empowering female athletes. It also reveals a bit about my bold and adventurous personality, which I also touched on in my roommate prompt. I think it's powerful to have cohesion and clear themes in your application without being repetitive. Briefly elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities, a job you hold, or responsibilities you have for your family. Violin is an inextricable part of my identity. Being concertmaster, performing solo concertos with orchestras, teaching violin, playing in a rock band, organizing gigs, being the farmer's market violin girl. Playing violin has pushed me to grow as a leader, play fearlessly, and explore new avenues in creativity. For this prompt, I talked about what I did, but I also saved a sentence to talk about the impact it had on me. That's important for college essays. List 5 things that are important to you. Bach partitas, a coalescence of simplicity and complexity. Reprieve. morning runs, meditation, and sunrise. Backcountry adventure. My address is in Seattle, but my home is in the mountains. Late night conversations, unraveling the human experience. Journaling. My life through poetry, reflection, webs of thought, catharsis. For this one, I think I just kind of wanted to throw a few more things out there that I didn't already have in the rest of my application. Okay, that's it for my Stanford Supplementals. I'm curious, what part of the application are you most nervous about? Let me know in the comments and maybe I'll make a video about it. Alright, thanks for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.